Good evening, guys. Ken at Tortoise Capital, nightly strategy podcast for June 15th, 2023. Start with the 30-minute swing hybrid charts and portfolio, starting with Alcoa. No trade. I felt I wanted to have this trade, span of control issue, but I think that's ready for tomorrow. AI just dominating. Re-entered the COTA 2 at 44, and I feel good on that one. Caterpillar, COTA 2 re-entry. Cliff, no trade, but it's shaping up well for tomorrow. CVS, so this one was interesting. This was yesterday on the big gap down. This sold off, and we closed it this morning at the gap, and then added the breakout above this level. I wanted to see that before there was a 1, 2, 3 a little earlier inside here, but I wanted to see it get above this resistance level. So we actually got long on that one then, and it closed pretty well at plus 2, and I think there's a chance for it to recover at least to here, and then to here at 72 and 71.50 and so forth. So, bottom line, CVS long. Dish Network missed the short. Devon Energy missed I missed the gap. There was a trade in here that was available. Probably would have had to gotten out about here, but span of control, I missed that. But this looks favorable for tomorrow. If it can hold above the PSAR, that's a trade. Electronic Arts, very volatile. I missed the COTA 2. Emerging markets, I re-entered the Emerging Dragon. So we got out of this one because of that harsh sell-off. And then I felt, great job avoiding that pain. And then I was slow to get back in today. But we got back in, and standard risk, and it's holding +1. That was such a good trade that it made that exit necessary. And now that the deck is cleared, we can re-enter and start afresh. So I like that one long term. ETHE gave a little morning hook. I don't have a position, though. EWW, COTA 2 re-entry. Brazil, COTA Emerging Dragon re-entry. Intel, COTA 2 re-entry. International Paper, no trade. IYR Real Estate, no trade. I missed the Emerging Dragon on that one. KRE is the regional banks. That's in SSC, and I like that one that, it held this support level. The last time it had this trade was here. I didn't get it until here, but that was a tradable move. So there's a move to the top of this 5-day range, and then there's the 30-day range and the 10-day range. So there is a 1, 2, 3 to the top of this. That's where I'll add a second position. So to me, 45 is in play. I will go short if that violates, because then it's going to come back to 41. Lemonade is a 2-day sell-off, looking reasonable for a COTA 2 entry. It should happen pretty soon. McDonald's, I took the gap up and go. This was one where I had to get out yesterday in order to preserve the gains on the 2 positions. And then today there was a gap up to here, and then it continued to just go. And at this point, I just had to hold my nose and buy it because it had exceeded the RL10. So you just go, and then it paid off. So it closed right here, so we're holding 2. If it breaks above today's high, that's where I'll add a second position at, let's call it 293. Mark, I missed the morning hook. Microsoft. This was another one where, because of 3 positions, I felt duty bound to exit here. And then today there was a gap up to here and then continuing. So we bought it, and it did nothing but, I missed the second entry. Should have been right about there. But this is holding 1, 2, 3R, and all free and clear, all-time high. Got to learn to sit on my hands on that one. This is marijuana. It had a nice turnaround a couple times today. I didn't get it, but it feels like 535, 5.35. That feels like a support level. If this continues, let's say above here, I think you want to support like right about there. So that's about 15 cents. And then it has to clear 570. And then the 10-day high. Don't add a second position till it gets above 590 though. Nvidia just dominating. I missed the second entry. I missed the second entry here and here and here. And then I feel better because it came back to here. And we've got such a nice gain on this one. 3, 4, 5, 6. We're about 7R on one position. I can afford to put the stop at about 420. If it shows any kind of strength tomorrow, that'll be a second position. Clean Energy, missed the cut at 2. Rivian, missed the cut at 2. S&P was very strong as it moved out. So what I want to say on this one is that as we look back at this looks like a 30-minute sell-off and then a recovery. That's what it looks like when guys are gunning the stops to just pick up cheap inventory because they know they're going to take it higher. That's just running stops in the morning. And so that's the basis of that morning hook. Fake 1, go 2. And then you'll just notice that, our 5-day, or I'm sorry, the 10-day low is here. This one was on the daily chart. This is where it had the emerging dragon breakout. And so all of this has been nothing but good. And that tells you what the power of the emerging dragon breakout is. And I want to show you that while we're here. This green line right here was the previous peak of that. It was trying and got to here and failed. And then when it broke above, when the RL10 breaks above, now you get this. That's what the emerging dragon does. And then I just want you to notice that the higher lows that are baked into the cake here, all of those are signs that the buyers are coming in. They're not even trying to let it go lower. They're coming in and they want to buy it while they can. And this is continuing to just go. So we're all the way back up to 442. 472, I think, is the all-time high. So we got about another 10%. No, about 8% on the way up. Quite a move. Let's see, treasuries. I missed the COTA 2, and I had span of control issues. Couldn't trade it today. Tesla. This was a nice 4 or 5 day trade right here, and it did not participate in today's strength in the S&P, so that's a concern. But if it breaks above today's high, then all is forgiven, and I'll be long again. But this was the dog that didn't bark in the night. This is one where it should have been going, but it didn't. So that very tight compression makes this a critical state that we care about. And then finally, U.S. Steel, I missed a COTA 2 on that one. So, but overall, pretty happy with what we were doing. There was a really good discussion in the Foundations Q&A course today. And what I want to say is, it was a well over an hour discussion on how do we know when things are in extreme conditions. And literally, the overall message was, anything that you hear me observing or noticing or commenting on in the nightly podcast or in the coaching, is an abnormal condition in a critical state. But then I went through and itemized things by location, volatility, the market, the sector, the patterns, the lens that we use, and then all the stats. And I realized, yeah, there's so many different ways to find anomalies that maybe you get lost in the forest. So I thought we did a nice job of condensing that into an hour-long discussion that pulled a lot of threads together. That 90 minutes or 60-minute lesson is probably worth the price of the entire Foundations course. In fact, all of the Q&A sessions for Foundations this cycle have been great. It's a very good reason to get the course, and the price on that could go up in the near future because we got the book going out to the editor, and they got about 2 weeks, and then I think we're going to get ready to publish that. And when we open that to the world, my expectation is the Foundations course is going to get very in high demand. So this would be the time to get in and get it while you can. Just saying. Sniper trade of the day. McDonald's. So we're on 3 minute. Here's where it closed yesterday. Here was the gap up to here. It sold off back to here and then closed right here. So that establishes, the OR3 technique right here and right here. So it violates to the upside. So there's the buy, and here is the 50-cent risk box on it. That's the R10. Now, how many of those are available to the upside on a range stat? Six, 7, 8, 9. So the range stat move is probably up around in there. So that gives you the sort of the 9-to-1 reward to risk ratio. So the first one gets 3. We get a 2R battle drill. Second entry right here. And then it rolls over. Take it at the edge of the dragon. So the first position gets 1, 2, 3. Second one gets 1, so that's plus 4. Kata 2 re-entry, scratch, Kata 2, scratch, Kata 2, about 3R. So this one gets us about, sorry, this one gets us plus 4. That's about a scratch. That's about a fraction. And then this gives us 3. So we get 3 and 4, 7. And then that pays for the commission. 7R. Let's see. We're trying to raise some money for the nonprofit soccer. I just realized that if this is on Patreon, if you click on that and you fill out 5 or 10 surveys, if everybody on this list that'll see that, we would fully fund our scholarship program for the whole year. If you did 10 surveys, it'd take you about a minute. Just saying. That'd be awesome. if you'd rather just PayPal me, you could do that, and I'll roll it into the soccer scholarship if you want to send $10. Let's see. So this is red on the Aussie dollar. He tries the short, covers, tries the long, scratches, gets paid, quick loss, and he nets slightly in the positive for the day. If he just trusted the PSAR, it's a 1.5 R. And then if we just keep trusting the PSAR, there's your flip. That gets paid. We take that PSAR, that gets paid. If we take this one, we scratch. And then this one, you could just stay with that the whole way down. So that could have been 5 to 6 R just by paying attention to the PSAR flips and trusting the indicator. I think these I'm catching up from yesterday's too, by the way, so sorry. Here's your Z3 pinch. So here's the breakout. That would then be a second position. That gets paid. Re-entry, quick scratch. This one would have gotten paid all the way up. This one is basically a scratch. That Z3 pinch, that's a good entry. But, on an entry here, and trust the PSAR. Here's Tim. He's continuing to pound Intel. OR3 gets paid for 0.9. This one, I think he got short and then covered for 0.4. This rolled over, so he got short and then took a 1R loss. The stop and reverse here, which is actually a COTA 2, or the emerging dragon entry, all of that gets paid. But he gets paid on the short and then gets paid on the long. So we'll take 1.6 on any given day. That's actually, and that's not even getting the two easiest moves of the day. Not that anything's ever easy, but but meanwhile, he was smashing Microsoft in a typical Tim fashion. OR3, this is measured. So he's taking snippets and getting paid for. This, in addition to this, is probably also the most important stock in the world, along with Tesla, because it's got the, it's winning. It has won the AI fight. I'm just declaring that now. And then he brings home 0.7 in Tesla. There was a morning hook here that was available. The fact that it had this big of a gap down tells you that it's in play. That gap was minus 3%. So it's in play. And then it recovers, and then here's a 1, 2, 3 entry. Notice where the PSAR is. That's where volume comes in. And then you could even get a second position on the PSAR flip and then get paid and exit here. But quick loss, micro gain. That was like a fake one, go to. Pretty good day across the board. Let's see here. All right, Hamad. Here's like a OR3. Here's his standard risk box. I don't mind that no lose plus dinner for 2. And then re-entering about here. That's a reasonable exit. I think you could make that a short or a short here, but that's still pretty good. It failed to fail, so now he gets long here and crushes it. I think you want to get out here when it comes through the drag. This is supposed to go right away. When it doesn't, cut it. I like the short, cut it long. Now when this rolls over, now you're in the sideways quiet channel. It's not like a Z3P until it gets inside here. Now you could play this breakdown. But we got to stay out of this chop. CVS. Let's see. Long, a quick cut, long, a quick cut, long, gets paid, quick cut, gets paid. When you see this, and then a PSAR flip right away, and then it flips again, I think you can take that. Or at a minimum, you draw this line across here from the Z3 pinch, and now you can take this, because it has come above this Z3 line. That's where you can get this long, and then that pays. OR3 gets long, and then this thing got outside of Z3. It's supposed to go. It didn't. So he preserves a no-lose plus dinner for 2. That's the gold star trade. That's well done. And imagine how horrible you'd felt if, like, you were long here and you didn't get paid, and then you let it come all the way down here and then exited, and then said, well, now I got to get short, and then lose. So what you got to do on this one, right, when this thing gets outside Z3 and you cash it, it comes down and hits that PSAR flip. Get short here instead of here. Get short here. Then that makes this a scratch. Now this one, this quick cut is fine because you got the re-entry. That's good. Quick scratch, got paid, got paid. There's a continuation. There's a continuation. There was a lot more available in that one, but still pretty good day. Now he's taken measured shots on this one, getting paid, carefully re-entering, getting paid, quick scratch, micro loss, and then we're in the chop. On these, you got to wait for it to break out of the Z3s now. So those, I think those last two we could have gotten rid of, and that makes a difference on the day. ARC is a hard one. I don't know that I want to do that intraday. I just don't. It's a blend of so many things that you're going to get this kind of chop a lot, and then that makes you want to trade this. And I would just not trade it intraday, to be honest. I think it's a 30-minute swinger, but not an intraday. My advice. That's why it's off my list. All right, so this is let's see who this is. Damien, recognizing it by style. Continuation. It has cleared all resistance, so he gets +1. PSAR flip gets long, +1. Okay, here's one on Intel. This is Satya. Picks his time. There's the emerging dragon above this. 1, 2. So leg 1, leg 2. Nails it. 5R. Why not? NVIDIA. 5.8. Or I mean 1.8 on this? No, 5.8. Sorry. It has cleared the 5-day and the 10-day high, so that's all good. It moves the risk box off. 1, 2, 3, and out for 1.8, and this is an all-time high. NVIDIA, guys, it's the winner. That and Microsoft. Split your money and put it on both. Let's see. Let's keep our names on the charts. This has been a while, and resistance, The breakdown crushed it. Could have been a second position. Covers. Dude, that is really good. Now, this is your SSC to here. There's another SSC over here. PSAR flip. Look at that trade. CRV. Gets paid. The re-entry is the key to sanity. Hulk smash. Here's the Z. This is the Z3 pinch breakout we're talking about. So when you get this tight Z's in here, and then you get an emerging dragon, somewhere in here, there's an entry. Like if you can get this and then exit at the edge of the dragon, then it comes here, and then you get the RLXD. I'd be long here and then have to exit about there. And now you have rising lows. And then when that fails, boy, that makes this a beautiful collapsing dragon. That's what you like. And notice the Red River, everything down. This is where the winter hits. That's where the winter hits. MACD, that's Latin for is your friend. That's a good quick cut. You could have stopped in reverse there. Damien today brings home another 1.75 on a emerging dragon. There was a re-entry in here somewhere, but that's still pretty good for Kata 2. All right, Brian. Kata 2, PSAR flip, emerging dragon entry. That's actually a Kata 2 and an emerging dragon. Quick cut. There's your re-entry. When it fails to fail, that's your signal that it may be this. This is the start of the day. When you look back at the previous ones, that makes this kind of a Kata 2 entry, and if you put your stop here, you still end up getting that same exit. But this is so you didn't lose anything by being more deliberate and waiting for a second Kata 2 / emerging dragon. That's a quick cut. This is supposed to go. It didn't. So getting out there is indicated. Now it sells off, finds support at the rising 270. It breaks, so he gets short. Quick cut. I'd make that a stop and reverse because of the strength of this previous move. I mean, you've got this information on the chart. That makes this just a Kata 2 and recover, so you can get long here. And then you scratch. So we'd saved some money on that. My brother coming in after work. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, let's see what we got here. So he's doing some natural gas,
Yep.
so to speak.
Yep.
Kata 2 continuation. So he's got the gap. That establishes sort of the baseline. There's kind of like an OR3. He's got the Kata 2 and go.
Yep.
One position, 2-hour battle drill. He lets this one get 3 on before he gets it. So there's 10 on 3 positions. Now, there's a Kata 2. Man, I want to be long right there so bad. You end up scratching and then re-entering for a micro. And now he's going to hold one position overnight funded by a 10R gain. So you take one of those R, and then you convert this to maybe a wider stop, like maybe underneath this. Your choice.
Yeah, I mean that's a full range stat. So
Yeah.
it's only 4 cents, but it's a range stat. So
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah,
It's
and
so it's
this is a turning point in natural gas anyway, and that
oh,
looks pretty favorable. So
all the so this is a series. So if you go to the what is that? That's 9 days. So go find the
I opened them in the order you posted them. So
I know, I'm sorry.
I
Well,
know,
it's reversed.
I know,
It's
I know.
uh,
Here's a
okay, so
30-minute.
that's the 30-minute. So that would be the next one up,
Yep,
right?
yep.
So
So that's where your
kind of the
entry.
same thing.
So that's
Yep.
where your entry is. It's still above a rising dragon,
Yeah.
but you can see it's coming into the station because look how narrow the dragon is starting to get.
Yeah.
So this is
I
this is a decision point. Now
Yep.
this is up 8%. This is up 9% in a day, and
Yep.
if it was going to fail, it could have.
Yeah.
And so that sort of says, yeah, there could be some more coming. I like that.
So there's a PSAR flip. Now let's go to the daily, which was one. Yeah, there it is. So PSAR flip, right?
Yep. Yep.
At down there. Now it could very well reverse, guys, and I lose my position.
Yeah, but this had 30 days, 40 days, 50
Yeah.
days to fail, and it didn't. And he's looking for 25, and it's at 7. So that's
With
a
a net-
300% recovery. So if it just gets halfway or a quarter of the way,
Yep.
you're talking about a major. That's about a move to 13 or 14. So that's almost a 100% gain from here.
Yeah, so-
75%. Yeah.
In December,
Why not?
it was there.
Yep.
6 months ago. So then if we zoom out one more, I said, well, okay. Because this is what I do. This is kind of my theory of going through and looking for 3-day, 9-day stuff. It's just about ready to flip there on the 3-day, right? So we got 772, then 8 and some change. Then what? And I'm going by MLR 10 support lines. Okay. Yeah. So, yep, exactly right, Ken.
Very tactical, very strategic, kind of the midpoint. This is the easy way to get in. Then you can refine it here if you want to get large intraday. And then when it works, you can grow it into a daily, 3-day, or a 9-day swing trade. And you've got all the room above. And this thing has had a year to fail further. That just means that natural gas is not going to zero. Not going to go to zero, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, all-time low is 585. So,
yeah.
But I doubled, or I tripled. If you see in my note that I sent you, Ken, I tripled the range stat just to okay, because it's 12 cents.
Yeah.
So here's a 12-cent, and then if we go to the 9-day, it gets a little nuts.
Yeah.
So that's not. It's not even.
Yeah, just the things to notice on that is when you get those PSAR flips at the end.
Yeah, on the 9-day.
This was still a nice move, even though it was only 3 weeks. This one was an extended move that returned 250%, and you're entering it at a better price. So if it could get to here, or here, or here, as your price ladder goes this way. So that's one just to hold your nose, leave it alone.
Yep.
And then as it continues to improve on those shorter term trades, you can
you can trend it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
I mean, it was. You're talking 500% in years, but anyway.
Yeah, let's
just
see.
Food for thought for everybody. Ciao for now.
Let's see. Oh, wait a minute. Got to open the right one, sorry. Oh, that is today. Okay, yeah, that's right. Zoomage. Stand by. I got to open the right file. All right, let's go to. Let's start looking at some of the health checks. So this is the 150 day. Here's that next target up. 472 is like previous all-time high. So we have cleared for sure. This was, I talked about that on the earlier view, that green line right there, which I'm now drawing as black because I'm stupid. So that green line was the top of the this RL10, which comes all the way back over here. So this whole trading range, which was this crap, this was when the RL10 broached it, and that release of great pressure takes it from 420 to 445, which is a 20% gain. And now 460 and then 475 are in range. Once again, looking at the multiple time frame. Come on, dummy. This is that peak of that RL10. And then when this RL10 breaches right here, that's the sign. And now you get this. And that has done nothing but never looked back all the way up. That RL10, just strong in the summer. That's what a summer growing season looks like, fellas. And notice this break comes out of the Red River. Up we go. That's so good. So now what I'm looking for is, if this starts to decay, then this MACD line rolls over its little baby dragon, and then that becomes the fall. So until then, let the corn grow. Let the big horse run. This was that little attitude check to pick up easy inventory for the weak hands from leveraged positions, and it's done nothing but gain. This is it's hard to get better than this. Bullish, quiet, all good, positive. The only thing is that this is so good that this is where it started rolling over previously. That's the only word of caution that's out there. Look at the winners: Intel, Walmart, Microsoft. The only losers are kind of in the energy, pharmaceuticals. There's oil. No dojis today. No auto framers today except for Merck and United Health. Big wins. This is the first cooling off of Tesla that we've seen. But we're seeing it rotate into Caterpillar, Intel, Nvidia. That's healthy. ETFs. Tech. The Qs. Brazil. All good. Only two on the auto framer test out better than 2 to 1. That's because everything is breaking out to new 10-day highs and beyond. Only one pinch today. A noteworthy one, it's Home Depot. Walmart pretty close. But this is everything stretching and going and growing. The only Godzilla is in VXX, the inverse volatility. Standard works. Taking a look at the the daily tab. So here's the S&P crushing it. Here's the zero line between winners and losers. The Dow was the only one better than the S&P, but underperforming was tech, treasuries, emerging markets, small caps. So this was a give back, but more of a rotation to the blue chips. So energy was okay, but now give backs in the semiconductors, Nvidia, Texas Instruments, and Intel. That's favorable for Intel. Tesla gave back some. The metals, Cliff, Alcoa, but U.S. Steel was a strong one today. I'd look for more strength out of U.S. Steel. But otherwise, Microsoft, tech, clean energy, being dominated by the summer. I like this in Intel. PayPal had a tactical move today. There may be some more in that. That's like the first big move after a 5-day quietude. That's how you read that. PayPal may be a tactical gift. So this was a tale of haves and have-nots. There's some significant divergences here. You had a lot of strength in a handful of symbols, but significant weaknesses elsewhere. So you're starting to see a divergence. Caution. Trading value-wise, marijuana, Devon, clean energy, Tesla, metals and mining. All right, that's everything for today. We'll get this published and posted and back to work. The Foundations Q&A was amazing. I'll get that posted later today for Foundation students. Take good care. Cheers.